Okay, today we've got some assorted mini notebook PCs ready to take a look at and kind of compare them. The first one we have here is the Fujitsu P 1620, the Asus EEE1000, the HP Mininote 2133, and the Asus EEE PC 900. And we'll start with the Fujitsu. This machine is actually a tablet PC. It's the most expensive out of the bunch. Retail is about $1,600 on it. This one has the extended life battery, so that adds a little extra weight to it. As you can see from the all the screens here, we're kind of looking at the same page. The 1000 seems to be the brightest out of all of them, although the color does look just a little bit washed out. It has a little bit of a blue hue. The best color seems to be on this Fujitsu machine, although it's not quite as bright as the others. HP Mininote is pretty solid, and the 900 actually is fairly bright and has good colors. Comparing keyboards, the Fujitsu 1620 has pretty decent keys, but still pretty small. The EEE1000 actually has the keyboard I like the most. All the keys are pretty large. Even the function keys are easily accessible, as well as the arrow keys. One thing I don't like is the shift key on the other side of the arrow keys. They should have moved it to this side. The HP Mininote is actually the best for typing on. It's got really large keys. It's really nice feeling. The only thing I didn't like were all the function keys are really small along the top, and the arrow keys are very small as well. That and the mousepad interface has buttons on either side, which are a little bit awkward to use. And the Asus EEE900, is the most cramped of them all, but it works, especially if you want to carry around a very light notebook. Judging by size alone, you can see that the EE1000 is pretty tall. The 2133 has the lowest profile out of all of them, and the 900 is pretty small as well. Now let's take a look at the top. Starting with Fujitsu. Remember, this has an extended battery coming out, so if they didn't have that, it would actually have a really small footprint. The 1000, slightly bigger. The 2133 is actually very slim. It's the slimmest out of all of them. You can even see, compared to an EE900, I mean, it's even smaller than that. So we'll kind of go from top to bottom. 1000 is the largest. HP on top of that, which is wider, but here's the P1620 and the 900. So we'll kind of compare the width on this side. So you can see the 1000 actually, with that battery on the back, makes it pretty thick. The HP is really slim. 1620 is pretty thick with its, well, it's a tablet PC, so you expect it to be thicker. And the 900 as well is fairly thin, but still has the bulk on the back. Okay, now we're going to do a boot time test. Now, I know this really isn't fair because we're using lots of different operating systems, 2 with Vista and 2 with XP. Some have solid state drives, others have regular hard disks. Anyways, this will kind of give you an idea of what you can expect with these different machines. So we're going to turn them all on at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Looks like the EE1000's in first, which is to be expected. It's got a solid state drive. 900's right behind it. Those both use solid state drives, while the others use hard disk. The HP Mininote looks like it's going to get in before the other one, though. It's up and running. And the Fujitsu's the last one, which may be just because of the software configuration. It uses a lot more drivers for the touchpad and such. But that's the boot time test. Now a brief overview on the capabilities and basically the verdict of the machine. P1620. It's a nice machine. It's got a Core 2 Duo running at 1.2 gigahertz, and it's really fast for this size of machine, faster than all the rest of them. The downside of it is this machine costs 2 or 3 times as much as any of the other ones here. The EEE1000 runs from 550 to 660, depending on the configuration. It's got an Atom processor, 230, runs at 1.6 gigahertz, which, even though it's a faster processor in gigahertz versus the Core 2, it's still a lot slower, and it's not dual core. The HP Mininote is a really nice machine. It looks great. The brushed aluminum is very nice. The only thing I don't like about this one is the keys are a little squished, and it runs a VSC7 processor, which isn't quite as quick as an Intel processor. The Asus 900 is a decent machine. It's really light. It's the lightest one of the bunch, and it's really nice to kick around. It's the cheapest out of all of these, but I definitely recommend the 1000 over the 900 or 901 series, because you don't really notice the weight too much, and it's got a bigger screen and a nicer keyboard to type on. It's really nice to type on, and it looks awesome. So that's my recommendation. All of these machines pretty nice, and I don't own all of these, unfortunately, but it's nice to see them side by side and get a nice little view of what's out there in the mini computing scene. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Thanks.